Hello, friend. This is Ryan Hicks of TalkToProfit.com, and I want to talk to you about the law of attraction and taking action. Now, there are a number of different opinions. Some people are just all about action, and if you know me, you know I talk about hard and smart work. And other people are like, well, you just got to sit back and let things happen, just allow things to happen. Well, if you've actually tried that, you know it doesn't work. You have some times where that does work, but if you just did that and all you did is sit around, didn't take action, your life is going to shambles, because you're not created to be indolent. You're created to act and to have activities and creativity in this life. But there is something about brute force. I know in my experience in life, before I really started understanding my mind and how to renew my mind, I would, by brute force alone, just simply hard, diligent, long work, sometimes done intelligently, sometimes not. But that brute force, I could make things happen and get great success. But eventually it would all go away because I still had this same mindset that I was a poor person, I didn't deserve wealth, I wasn't good enough, or it was somehow wrong, and all these different things that worked against me. And so the brute force would override the law of attraction, but only for a while. And the best way I can liken this to, this just popped in my mind about when I was a kid. I remember we had these little tiny airplanes. They were made out of styrofoam, and they were like two pieces, and you put the wings through the airplane piece, and it became a little plane. You would throw them, and they would fly. Now, we all understand the law of gravity, and we know that if we jump off a roof, we're going to the ground. And yet, here's this little styrofoam plane. It flies. But the thing is, you could, by brute force, make that thing fly, and sometimes it would catch a gust of wind and it would go very far. But it was always coming back down. In the end, while it could for a while, through lift and other laws, it could override the law of gravity, eventually it was coming down. And this is the same way brute force is with the law of attraction. You can, for a while, for a season, override the law of attraction, override your bad programming, override this negative mentality that you might have. But it will come crashing down eventually if you haven't renewed your mind, if you haven't changed the way you're thinking about things. Brute force alone will not be sustainable. And I know this from practical experience because I observed it over and over again. I could make great, successful businesses by brute force alone, but I couldn't override that programming I had that kept me poor. It didn't matter how many millions I could make, I was always going to end up broke. Until I would override that mentality and start following Philippians 4:8. Start thinking about those things that are good report and true, just and lovely and virtuous and praiseworthy. And when you do that long enough and you think about what you want and not what you don't want, when you're not denigrating yourself, when you're confident in your faith in God that everything is going to work out for your good, that's when, with that brute force, that massive action, and the law of attraction, you continue to go forward. You don't have that fall. You don't have that drop. Because you do need to take action. And the law of attraction will lead you to take action. It will push you into certain areas where you need to be to take action. But the action alone will not do it. You need those things where God's leading you and guiding you into all truth and putting you in the right places, putting the right people before you. But then you have to take action. You can't just allow and sit back and do nothing. You have to take action. So the brute force can override the law of attraction, but what needs to happen is you need to have everything working together. You have to take massive action. If you're going to be a great success, you can't sit back and allow. You can't meditate all day long, pray all day long, read the scripture all day long, or anything else you think is good. And those are all good things, but God didn't call you for that. He didn't put you here to meditate and pray all day. Especially when most people's prayers are just telling God what he already knows. babbling out the things they don't want, babbling out the cares of the world, not speaking forth life and faith and praiseworthy things. And so I don't want you to be confused. You must take massive action. But when you do that, in connection with the law of attraction, speaking forth good things, believing for good things, acting on good things, you will get the results you want. And you'll get massive, great results. Now, on the other hand, you could just sit back, wait for the law of attraction to attract everything to you, but it doesn't work. It's like that gravity. If you just set that plane I talked about, that little styrofoam airplane, on the ground, it's not going to lift by itself. It needs some action to get it going. But the law of attraction is like the wind, that little gust of wind that keeps it up in the air and keeps it going. So while your initial action, your initial brute force pushes the plane forward, that gust of wind, and in the case of this analogy, being the law of attraction, keeps it going forward, keeps it up in the air, keeps it progressing toward your goals. And when you understand this and you put the two together, and you're not just trying to only take action, you're not just trying to only allow, you will start to see things just work perfectly together. And an action you take that doesn't seem to have any real major implications will lead to something good that will have major implications. But if you didn't take the action in the first place, such as I've been to stores before, like, why am I here? I don't need anything here. And then I meet someone and it ends up being a business deal. But if I didn't take the action, even though it didn't seem to make any sense at the time, I wouldn't be in the place to receive that thing that I'm attracting to myself. And that's the thing, you have to be open to receive. So allow is good, but you have to have action with that allowance. You can't be resisting the good that God's bringing into your life. You can't be resisting His goodness, His abundance, His blessing. But you do have to take action to be in the position to receive, to take action to receive in the first place. And that's how you will go about to great success. You can't do just one or the other. They all work together. The law of attraction, massive action, or brute force all works together to bring about the great results that you want in life. My friend, I pray this is a blessing for you. May God bless you richly.